division, he not only quit, he didn't even bother to tell Bill Barr. He told only the president and the White House counsel's office. He sent out an email to his staff saying, I've tendered my resignation to the president, and he is leaving in July. But there are a lot of open spots right now in the Justice Department, and a lot of open questions. What the Justice Department continues to do, though, and we need to keep this in mind, is have an ongoing and open investigation led by the U.S. Attorney in Connecticut, John Durham, just sort of a catch-all for all of the president's claims, including the idea that Barack Obama somehow betrayed the country. It gives him an open slate with which to work from now into the election. He can throw all of these claims against and say there is an ongoing investigation. Now, maybe that would have worked in 2016. Maybe that would have even worked in February of 2020. But we have to think long and hard about whether or not relitigating 2016 is the message that's going to get Donald Trump elected when we have more than 100,000 people dead because of a pandemic, a second wave on the rise, a burgeoning civil rights movement, and an economy that is in collapse.
Three of our very best to take our questions and start off a new week. Phil Rucker, Susan Page, Katie Bender, can't thank you enough for being here with us. Coming up for us, because Tulsa wasn't controversial enough, the president heads to one of the other hotspots in our country for another indoor rally. Why one ER doc there says this could be a disaster in the making. And later, Republicans against Trump, in a lot of cases more vocal, making tougher ads against the president than the Democrats are, say nothing of their extraordinary trolling capability as the 11th hour is just getting underway on a brand new Monday night.
Everybody has a visor in their car, but a visor in the wrong place can actually make it harder to see. Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call it TAC Visor. Inspired by the face shields used by our American fighter pilots, TAC Visor can do things no ordinary visor can do, like block blinding glare without blocking your view, so invisible dangers suddenly become visible, and enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's. The secret is Bell & Howell's light filtering technology. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our TAC Visor. Our colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing. Think it's a trick? Bring it in, guys. But check out what happens when I show it to these people. Hop in. Look at that windshield. Tell me what you see.
A blank screen?
Just a blank screen.
Nothing. Blank.
Go ahead and put down that TAC Visor and take a look again.
Whoa! What the? That is amazing.
That's crazy.
How does it do that?
Best of all, TAC Visor is easy to install on any car. Simply slide to adjust, and in just seconds, ready to rock and roll. So, if you need to block blinding glare without blocking your view, then you need a Bell & Howell TAC Visor. There's just nothing like it on the market today.
Act now to get a TAC Visor for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. Only a TAC Visor features Bell & Howell's precision and quality, and is backed by our lifetime guarantee. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade you to our 2-in-1 TAC Visor. Just pay a separate fee. When the sun goes down, use the night vision visor to improve visibility and block dangerous glare from oncoming headlights. This offer won't last long, so don't delay. Here's how to get yours today.
To order, call 1-800-965-2841 or go to tacvisor.com. That's 1-800-965-2841 or order online at tacvisor.com. That's 1-800-965-2841.
Give it up for the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Congratulations, Frank. Hey, Andy, Doug, you guys look great. Hey, I feel great too. Ever since you told me about Nugenix Total T, I crush in my workouts. Thanks to Nugenix, I got more energy, more stamina, feeling years younger. It's awesome.
From the brand that brought you GNC's #1 vitality product and product of the year, Nugenix Total T is our most powerful man-boosting formula ever because it boosts your free testosterone and your total testosterone. To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text APPEAL to 42424.
I like the competitive edge Nugenix gives me. Hey, me too. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T, and she'll like it too.
Text APPEAL to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. So text APPEAL to 42424.
It can now Bobby said our president is traveling from hotspot to hotspot. Tomorrow, he'll be speaking at an indoor rally in Arizona. The state has been recording a surge in new cases, logging over 2,100 new coronavirus cases today. The number of COVID-19 hospitalizations in Arizona also reaching record highs. As of Sunday, 84% of ICU beds were in use. For more, we are happy to welcome to the broadcast someone acutely aware of the dire situation in that state, someone who will be among the first to know if the president's rally indeed results in its own spot. Dr. Mortuza Akhtouri, a clinical assistant professor at Arizona University's College of Medicine in Phoenix, also happens to be an expert on how racial inequality and income inequality affect longevity. Doctor, full disclosure, I saw you on another network, and full disclosure, you expressed your anger in the interview I saw, which is rare these days among physicians, but we could probably use more of it. So when you hear people in the Phoenix area say, I'm not going to be ordered to wear a mask, I'm going to go without a mask, in effect, to show my support for this president. I know COVID's out there. I'm willing to risk getting it because I want to go to this rally. What do you say to them?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Brian, first of all. And I'm impressed that you're watching competitor stations and caught a wind of me. For the people who aren't wearing masks, I mean, we have this idea that you can do what you want, but that's just not how our society is built. You clearly can't do whatever you want. We've had rules and regulations in place for all sorts of things. The reason this one is particularly concerning is because masks aren't there just to protect the person wearing the mask. It's also there to protect other people, perhaps even more so. And so to say I'm going to do whatever I want to not wear a mask, listen, if you're a hermit and live by yourself, that's fine. But as soon as you're coming into contact with other people, here in Arizona, we've got a lot of elderly people. And I just crunched the numbers literally last night. Those people who are above 65 and have COVID are 58 times more likely to die of it than somebody under 45 with COVID. That's 58 times, not 5 to 8, 58. And we have a lot of, snowbirds here, and just go around saying, listen, I'm young and healthy, and young and healthy people can get sick too. I've seen them literally today on my shift, which I just stepped out from. But to say not only that I don't care, but also I don't care about others is really, really selfish.
Doctor, I want to play for you something you've no doubt been sent throughout the day today. These are the two gentlemen who run the mega church, which is going to be the venue of tomorrow's event, talking about what is apparently a scientific breakthrough. We'll talk about it on the other side.
We've installed Clean Air EXP. We have a local Arizona company. It was technology developed by some members of our church, and we've installed these units, and it kills 99.9% of COVID within 10 minutes from independent testing.
It's ionization?
Ionization. It's ionization of the air, and it takes particulates out, and COVID cannot live in that environment.
Doctor, I'm going to assume they're writing up a cover story for Scientific American, and I'm going to assume you are greatly relieved to hear about this breakthrough, no?
I'm not supposed to laugh on air, Brian. So they can't even say ionization correctly. It's their own video. Listen, I don't tell pastors how to do their job. For them to tell people that they know the science behind it. Again, this is a free speech country, but if you're at something of a role that's as important as a pastor, you've got a congregation, you have a responsibility with what you say. There are no clinical data to prove that it's this effective. The company's website says 99.9% using a surrogate of COVID-19, not actual COVID-19 patients. And so we don't know that it works. Even if it did work, it would only work if you're far enough away from the person. If you cough on the person right next to you, and at this rally, at this church, people will be next to each other, then they're going to have symptoms regardless. If people are standing next to each other and somebody coughs on the other person, you're going to get infected regardless of whether the filtration system even works or not, and we don't even know if it works.
And you're going to be among the first to know if there is even a mini spike coming out of this event, right?
Well, I am an emergency physician in Phoenix. I literally just stepped away from my shift, and somebody's trying to call me right now. Sorry about that. And I have another shift tomorrow. So if people get sick, then I'll see them. And here's the other issue, Brian, that when cases become positive, the people don't necessarily decompensate until later. So even if people spread the virus tomorrow, which they will, there's no public health expert who would say that there's going to be no transmission in a rally like this. They'll really, really get sick a couple weeks later, and that's when we'll really see a surge.
Please take that call. We never want to stand in the way of medicine. Dr. Morthuza, actor, thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps we'll check in with you after the event there in Phoenix. Coming up for us, failure to relaunch. We ask a veteran conservative analyst, someone from the political trenches, his take on the state of the Trump campaign after the letdown in Tulsa.
Rough, dry calluses are uncomfortable and ugly, but do-it-yourself scrapers can be dangerous and painful.
Ow!
Tiny sharp blades grate your feet and they leave behind a giant, gross mess. Now erase those stubborn calluses in seconds with virtually no cleanup with the Petivac by Pet-Egg, the ingenious motorized callus remover with a built-in vacuum. Now you can remove nasty calluses anywhere, anytime, because all the shavings are sucked right up into the collection chamber. Pettivac's gentle nano-abrasion head spins at over 2,000 RPMs for fast, clean results. The secret is our Dermavac technology that quickly removes calluses in seconds while simultaneously sucking up the powder, shavings, and dust for a mess-free pedicure you can do anywhere. Embarrassing bumps at the office, smooth them out with Petivac, or take it on the go, in the car for quick touch-ups anywhere. Watch as Petivac takes the peel off this orange and absolutely no shavings fall. Amazing! Petivac even removes hard work hand calluses. Just look at the difference. Listen to these first-time users.
Oh my gosh! Instantly, those calluses are gone.
It's vacuuming up the mess right away. No more pedicures for me, ever.
Stop making a mess with disgusting skin falling everywhere. Get salon-perfect feet at home with the Petivac for just $19.99. And we'll upgrade you to our rechargeable edition absolutely free, so you never need to worry about buying batteries again. Order now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of Air Police 4 face masks with 4 layers of protection, plus a moldable nose piece for a secure fit. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Order now.
Call 1-800-920-8172. That's 1-800-920-8172. Or visit bypettyvac.com. So call 1-800-920-8172 now.
Searching for a bumper cover replacement after yours disappeared on the freeway? Got it. What about that driver's side mirror that just fell off when you backed out of the garage? Got it. Or a taillight your brother-in-law broke with his bad golf swing? Got it. At CarParts.com, we know the most important part of all is the one you need to get your car back on the road. We carry a huge inventory of parts, even collision parts, with savings of up to 50% off. All delivered to your door and covered by our 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Get the right part for the right price right now at CarParts.com.
Imagine diving into the biggest closet in the world, packed with your favorite brands and styles at unbelievable prices. Welcome to ThredUp, the world's largest online thrift store. With over 50,000 new items every day at unbeatable prices. Madewell from $9, Anthropologie from $13, Coach from $25, Nike from $6. From these racks right to your door. Check out the app and see for yourself. Enter code NEW for up to an extra 50% off your first order at thredup.com.
Meteorites are fun!
Children are like meteorites, hurtling through space. They crash into things everywhere they go. So what do we do with our delicate items during these not-so-delicate years? Oh. Whoa! Well, those are my little meteorites.
Public storage is clean, close, and ready now with limited contact precautions. First month's rent is just $1. Save up to 30% after that. To find a unit near you, text IRON to 250250.
By all accounts, the president's campaign relaunch failed to live up to his expectations. Tonight's Washington Post headline laying it out this way: Trump's anger over Tulsa rally underscores growing problems within his campaign. That's what made us think of our next guest, Mike Murphy, Republican strategist, co-director of the Center for the Political Future at the University of Southern California, also co-host of the Hacks on Tap podcast. Mike, I was following you, among others, during the president's event. Is there a plan, do you think, for this campaign, or did we just see it in Tulsa? And what do you think things are like right now at Campaign HQ?
Oh, I am sure I would love to be a fly on the wall. I think campaign manager Brad Parscale is going to need one of those Ferraris of his to escape the anger from the president and the knives that are out. You know, culture in a campaign is set at the top, and Trump likes to play all his people against each other. It's a career reward there to be a yes man. So the knives are out for Parscale because the president is so psychologically connected to these rallies. He needs the support. A complete fiasco like this, it has to set off earthquakes inside his organization.
If my Skype vision is correct, I'm seeing an old Barry Goldwater poster behind you off your left shoulder. And I am reminded that Goldwater used the campaign slogan, "In your heart, you know he's right." And is that the same as Donald Trump talking up the silent majority, telling people out loud, I know you're with me, I'm counting on you to come out and get us over the finish line? Is that how he wins?
Well, you know, Goldwater had ideological intensity. He believed in things. You know, you may agree or disagree with him, but he was consistent. Well, President Trump, his compass is himself. There's no greater cause. So I think he thinks he's appealing to his people through Twitter, through going to safe Republican states and that sort of thing. But his problem is, even if you grant him that hunk of vote, it's a demographic cul-de-sac. He's got a chokehold on old white guys. That's his core group, and it's not enough to win a presidential election, which is why all the polling is so bad, particularly in the swing states. So, you know, but I think in his head, he is thinking he's got his army of people, and if he pleases them, they're taking him to victory. I think that's a failed strategy, but we'll find out.
At the end of the day, what do you think really happened in Tulsa? Was it a combination of this teenage campaign to buy and harbor hundreds of mythical seats at this venue? Was it, as some have theorized, that the Trump base, conservative media to the contrary, and their cavalierness about the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of folks actually stopped and realized that this was going to be the largest indoor mass gathering of the era of the coronavirus, and that kept them away?
Well, yeah, I think it was a couple of things. I think the kids fooling around with it had an impact, particularly on their data. They were using this as a big data mining deal to catch a lot of names who, you know, they thought were supporters, and they were rudely surprised. Now they got a lot of junk data. And I think rational COVID fears, and I'm glad to see that, kept a lot of people away. But, you know, they totally blew the expectations of this. But it's also interesting, it was that bad in Tulsa, a strong red state. My troublemaking group with a bunch of others called Republican Voters Against Trump, we just did a poll of Jacksonville, Duval County, which is a lean Republican county where Trump wants to, you know, hold a convention. We asked 600 voters what they thought, and they said, no, don't come here. A majority by 10 points said we don't want the convention here. And when we gave them the pros and cons, that went up to 52-39, don't do it. Even, you know, a big hunk, about 30% of Republicans don't want a Republican convention in their town. So you're seeing Trump's grip, even on places like Tulsa and Jacksonville, Florida, which I might add is a must-win county. We have them losing it by 8. It's early, we'll see. But anyway, they're crack showing. And, you know, as COVID moves into the redder states, people there are starting to experience the incompetence firsthand in their communities compared to kind of hearing about it in the cities, which are not as Republican. So I think it's kind of a whole mixture of things. But I think the kids did put a hurt on them, and that there was some fun irony in that.
Mike Murphy, because in your heart you know he's right, and to our podcast audience, bring your own beverage, but Hacks on Tap is a great deal of fun. Mike, always great to have you. Thank you very much. Coming up for us as we continue encouraging more corporate help in this current push for racial equality. Our next guest says it's not how to get back to normal, but better how to do it better when we get there, when the 11th hour continues.
Rising energy costs are frustrating. Electricity rates continue to increase, and there's no relief in sight. It's also smart to prepare for power outages that can leave you in the dark. You need a solution that will help you save money, prepare for power outages, and help the environment. Introducing the Generac Power Cell, a battery storage system that harnesses the power from the sun to help reduce your electric bill and provide backup power during utility power outages.
With the battery storage solution, we're saving about $450 a month.
PowerCell's revolutionary technology captures and stores electricity either from solar panels or the electrical grid. It allows you to use stored energy during peak demand times when electricity costs are high, which helps reduce your electric bill, saving you money. And when a power outage occurs, PowerCell is ready to supply backup power to your home. PowerCell's modular design allows for easy customization for any home or budget, and PowerCell is backed with a 10-year limited warranty.
It was a simple installation, very neatly installed. It was done very quickly and efficiently. Since installing our power system, we've been experiencing a savings of $1,500 a year.
Generac has been a trusted provider of backup power solutions since 1959 and provides 24/7 customer support.
The battery storage solution in combination with the solar has been one of the best investments we've ever made.
Special financing is available with low monthly payment options. You will likely qualify for tax credits and energy rebates, which could save you up to 30%, adding to the savings you'll enjoy over time with PowerCell. Call now to schedule a free in-home assessment. The call is free, the assessment is free, and there's no obligation to buy. Act now to receive PowerView, Generac's home energy monitoring system, a $300 value. With PowerView, easily keep tabs on your energy consumption, monitor your battery usage, and track your savings. Don't wait. Call or go online now. PowerCell, savings powered by the sun.
Me? I'm a fire starter. And change is now. We're done. Done with bladder leaks, worry, temporary fixes. Because we're letting the world Innovo. Now we have science behind us, we hold the power. We wear the pants. New Innovo pelvic floor restoring pants. At last, being leak-free is possible. Change has spoken.
At Credible.com, we've helped tens of thousands of people save money by refinancing their student loans. In 3 minutes, we'll get you actual rates from multiple lenders. We could save you hundreds of dollars a month.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save.
I got things I want to do, but student loans were holding me back. Credible.com helped me save $600 a month with a great rate. Now I can go do what I want to do.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save on your student loans.
Amid the ongoing Black Lives Matter protests, some corporations are making it known that they're taking steps to promote social justice. But as the Washington Post points out, corporate America, including Wall Street and Silicon Valley giants, is now pledging to play a bigger role in combating systemic racism across the U.S. But an examination of companies' track record shows they have repeatedly stopped short of major overhauls during prior opportunities for change. For more, we are happy to welcome a giant of the philanthropic world, Darren Walker. Happens to be president of the Ford Foundation, also happens to be a board member of the e-commerce firm Square. It's an honor to have you on. Thank you very much. And I was thinking back tonight, I saw on Instagram the words Black Lives Matter sent to me by a skincare company. I saw one from a sock company. In the real world, however, how, in your view, should the private sector pressure test their virtue?
Thank you, Brian, for having me. First, let me state a fact, and that is that corporate America has failed Black America. And in order for us to fully address the systemic racism that exists within corporate America, we're we're going to have to move beyond tokenism to transformation. We're going to have to ask, why are there so few African Americans on board, in C-suite, on operating at the highest level? Why is access to capital so difficult for Black businesses? These are fundamental issues that corporate America is going to have to address. And the old playbook of dealing with a crisis that involves African Americans is very straightforward. It goes like this: issue a statement with some nice platitudes, organize a conference call with a group of African Americans, apologize, make a couple of grants to the UNCF and the Urban League, and get back to work. That playbook will not work on this occasion.
What about the phrase that we hear that those of us in the real world and who have been in the working world for a while know happens to be true, and that is that a diverse workforce really does make you better, and it makes you much more able and much more nimble to navigate the working world of the year 2020. How do you drill that into the people you deal with?
That is not new information, Brian. We have had research for years demonstrating the efficacy of diversity as a way of improving the bottom line. And yet, we have found it difficult for corporations to do their part to actually demonstrate that idea in practice. The reason, quite candidly, is because of racism. And that is not to say that all corporations are racist and that corporations are bad institutions. It's simply to say, in many ways, corporations reflect American society more broadly. And in order for us to make the kind of progress we need to make, we're going to have to be intentional. We're going to have to actually develop scorecards, do the things that corporations know how to do, and that is deliver on target and goals, and insist doing that. So I'd like to see boards hold CEOs accountable to actually make quantifiable objectives. And when those objectives are not met, folks don't get their bonus.
Imagine that. Final question, something that I know is near and dear to your heart. To put it in plain English, a lot of charities are hurting. A lot of nonprofits are hurting during this gut punch of a period for our nation. What can you do about it?
Well, I think what we in philanthropy at places like the Ford Foundation can do is do more than we normally do, which is to pay out the required 5%. At the foundation, we're actually doubling what we're paying out to above 10%. And that's being made possible through an innovative social bond that we this last week issued of $1 billion, which is going to make it possible for us to pay out in excess of $1 billion a year for 2 years. This is a critical time for the nonprofit sector in America. We depend on nonprofits to do so many things in our society, and they are at risk. They're at risk because of the fallout from COVID. They're at risk because corporate sponsorship are evaporating. They're at risk because their theaters are dark. The museums are closed. Revenue is not coming in. And yet these institutions are critical to our democracy. They are critical to providing homeless services, providing Head Start programs, and all of the things that constitute our civil society. So as America, we cannot be America without a strong civil society. So the work of philanthropy is to do more, to step up, to be creative, to be bold, and not sit back and do what we normally do, which is allow a crisis to pass and use that old playbook. We need to throw out the playbook. We've got to develop new plans, and those plans have to be creative and bold.
Darren Walker, please come back on our broadcast with us. Great pleasure to have the president of the Ford Foundation with us during this time for our country. Another break for us, and coming up, a product of the Deep South tries to change. And running out front is a brave and popular young man who learned today everybody else is right there with him.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with any type of lung cancer in the past few years? Even if you smoked, your cancer may be a result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. Who do you call for the legal assistance you need? You call the Lung Cancer Law Center and the lawyers who have dedicated their careers working to recover hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation for asbestos victims diagnosed with mesothelioma and lung cancer, including smokers whose risk factor is 50 times that of non-smokers. In fact, many of these companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and that it was significantly more dangerous for smokers, but just didn't care. The attorneys with the Lung Cancer Law Center have decades of experience and are here to determine if and when you were exposed to asbestos and who should compensate you. If you have been diagnosed with lung cancer, call the Lung Cancer Law Center at SWMW Law. You don't pay anything until we win.
So what's going on?
I'm a talking dog.
The other issue?
Oh, I'm scratching like crazy.
You've got some allergic itch with skin inflammation. Apoquel can work on that itch in as little as 4 hours, whether it's a new or chronic problem. And Apoquel's treated over 7 million dogs.
Nice. And the talking dog thing?
Is it bothering you?
No, itching like a dog is bothering me.
Until dogs can speak for themselves, you have to. When allergic itch is a problem, ask for Apoquel. Apoquel is for the control of itch associated with allergic dermatitis and the control of atopic dermatitis in dogs. Do not use Apoquel in dogs less than 12 months old or those with serious infections. Apoquel may increase the chance of developing serious infections and may cause existing parasitic skin infestations or pre-existing cancers to worsen. Do not use in breeding, pregnant, or lactating dogs. Most common side effects are vomiting and diarrhea. Feeling better?
I'm speechless. Thanks for the Apoquel.
That's what friends are for. Ask your veterinarian for Apoquel. Next to you, Apoquel is a dog's best friend.
ThreadUp presents The Cure for the Common Closet.
I know that sigh. You're suffering from common closet.
Not common closet.
But fear not, I have the cure. It's called ThreadUp.com. It's the world's largest online thrift store with all of your favorite brands at incredible prices. Check out this J. Crew dress, $14. Boho weekend look, $25. You can pick your favorite colors, styles, brands, and voila!
Enter code NEW for up to an extra 50% off your first order at ThreadUp.com.
Meteorites of fun!
Children are like meteorites, hurtling through space. They crash into things everywhere they go. So what do we do with our delicate items during these not-so-delicate years? Oh! Whoa! Well, those are my little meteorites.
Public storage is clean, close, and ready now with limited contact precautions. First month's rent is just $1. Save up to 30% after that. To find a unit near you, text IRON to 250250.
We talk about it here every night. Our country is changing, some things faster than others, but what's afoot right now indeed feels more like a movement than a moment. For some folks, where it comes to practices and symbols and vestiges of the past, change is going to take time. And in keeping with our history, people emerge who stand up and lead by example. They speak up and speak out, and they force change. One such man is Bubba Wallace. He is the only black driver in NASCAR's upper echelon of 40-plus drivers. He is hugely popular among his fellow drivers. Like a lot of race fans, he was never comfortable with the ubiquitous Confederate flags at so many NASCAR events. The sport started, after all, among moonshiners in the Deep South, souping up their streetcars to outrun the revenuers, the feds, who chased them through the back roads. But it's 2020 now, and Bubba Wallace spoke up and he forced NASCAR to change, and they did. They have banned the stars and bars at NASCAR events. This weekend's racing was at Talladega in Alabama, where sure enough there was a Confederate flag parade outside the speedway. Then sadly, a noose was found in the garage housing Bubba Wallace's race team. NASCAR likes calling itself a family. Today we are happy to report they acted and looked like a family. Team members from the entire starting grid accompanied Bubba Wallace's car prior to the race. Among them was the man they call the King, Richard Petty. Bubba drives for Petty. He drives the 43 car synonymous with that former champ. Bubba Wallace ran a great race today, though he finished out of the money. He did something extraordinary. Afterwards, he went over to thank some first-time fans from Atlanta, part of his cheering section among the sparse fans who were allowed in today. Bubba Wallace said today he knows this next period is going to be tough. At least his fellow drivers and his sport have his back, so he can concentrate on running to the front. Coming up for us, something is coming later this week, and while it's big, not everyone watching will get to see it and enjoy it.
Everyday work, exercise, and stress leaves your body in a painful, achy mess. What if you could combine soothing pressure, vibrating massage, and heat therapy? Introducing Calming Heat, the revolutionary massaging weighted heating pad. Calming Heat combines the soothing benefits of weighted pressure with the warming relief of an extra-large heating pad, plus massaging vibrations that can be turned on and off. The secret is therapeutic heat that's absorbed into the weighted clay beads, combined with massaging therapy, all stitched in a soft, luxurious fabric, delivering warm, soothing pressure therapy to muscles and joints. Watch, when blasted with air, this regular heating pad blows away, but the weighted pressure and no-slip fabric keep Calming Heat securely in place. Calming Heat is the ideal way to calm muscle aches, loosen stiff joints, helps relieve hand pain, and soothe menstrual cramps.
Calming Heat helps me by relaxing the muscles and also just relieving the tension that I feel.
With the Calming Heat, it has the weighted beads in it so that you can put it anywhere on your body, and with the pressure, it'll help the heat get into your muscles quicker for faster relief.
It's a lot bigger. It was able to cover my whole lower back.
Plus, Calming Heat features one-touch control, a convenient 9-foot cord, and automatic shutoff. So while regular heating pads are blown away, Calming Heat's weighted, soothing pressure therapy can last all night and day. Take your relaxation to the next level with Calming Heat by Calming Comfort for just $59.99. As a bonus, you'll get the Stay Clean and Store Bag absolutely free. And Calming Heat comes with a free 1-year warranty. Order today and find out how you can get a second Calming Heat for 50% off and free shipping. That's right, free shipping. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-691-5312 or go to calmingheat.com. Order now.
Audible is my road trip companion.
It's kind of my quiet alone time. Audible is a routine for me.
It's like a fun night school for adults.
I could easily be seduced into locking myself in a place where I do nothing but listen to books.
I never was interested in historical fiction before, but I'm obsessed with it now.
There are a lot of classic and big titles that I feel like I've missed out. Since I don't have time to read, man, might as well listen.
If I want to catch up on the news or history or learn what's going on in the world, I can download a book and listen to it.
Because I listened to her story over and over again, I made the decision to go ahead and follow my own dream, which was to help other veterans.
I think there's 180 books in my library now. It changes your perspective. It makes you a different person.
It's true. It's so true.
To start your free 30-day trial, just text LISTEN17 to 500-500.
Last thing before we go tonight, during bad times down here on Earth, we often look to the heavens for help, and while our last item tonight comes from a slightly lower altitude, we could certainly use the distraction. A dust cloud is headed our way, compliments of the Sahara Desert, and yes, that means it started on another continent and was blown by west winds across the Atlantic 5,000 miles to our shores. It's already arrived in the Caribbean and will keep making its way west, arriving in Florida, Louisiana, Texas by later this week. We're going to notice several effects from it. Because it's dust, it may bother those with respiratory problems in the states affected. For them, the advice is the same as it has been all pandemic: wear a mask. Because dust makes for dry air up at that altitude where planes fly, it can have the effect of suppressing the formation of storms. We'll take that anytime. The dust will also make for a daytime haze against sunny skies. This was its arrival in St. Croix. We also have video tonight from the Virgin Islands. It shows so much dust it brought on an early dusk. though it will become much more diffuse as it travels to the north. Mostly people are going to notice stunning sunsets during these upcoming summer nights. The dust from a faraway desert is going to certainly use the distraction. A dust cloud is headed our way, compliments of the Sahara Desert, and yes, that means it started on another continent and was blown by west winds, certainly used the distraction. A dust cloud is headed our way, compliments of the Sahara Desert, and yes, that means it started on another continent and was blown. So just when you a dramatic glow. By next weekend, the dust, and there will be less of it, will be creeping north into the Midwest, up the eastern seaboard, into the Carolinas. So just when you think our world is
when he made those comments. His aides claimed that Trump was just kidding, but in interviews yesterday, the president declined to say that it was a joke.
We do more testing than any country in the world by far, 25 million tests. Other countries do 1 million. Every time you do a test, as you do more tests, it shows more and more cases. So we're so far advanced, both in terms of the quality and the amount, and we're doing all these tests and it shows cases. If other countries aren't doing, or if we did slow it down, we wouldn't show nearly as many cases. You're showing people that are asymptomatic, you're showing people that have very little problem, you're showing young people that don't have a problem, but we're doing so much testing, 25 million tests. Nobody thought that.
But did you ask to slow it down?
If it did slow down, frankly, I think we're way ahead of ourselves, if you want to know the truth. We've done too good a job, because every time we go up with 25 million tests, you're going to find more people. So then they say, we have more cases in the United States. The reason we have more cases, because we do more testing than any other country by far.
At the Tulsa rally, when the media's hitting you on that, where you said, I told my staff, stop the testing. They're saying, was that tongue-in-cheek or?
No, it's semi-tongue-in-cheek. I say it all the time. I know some people thought it was tongue-in-cheek. It's unfair.
But just to clear up, there wasn't a direct order, if you will, to staff to stop the testing.
No, okay. but I think we put ourselves at a disadvantage. I told my people. I said, we've gotten so good at testing. Number one, we have the best tests. Number two, we have the most tests. We test much more than any other nation. So you hear about all these cases. So instead of doing 25 million tests, let's say we did 10 million tests, we'd look like we're doing much better because we'd have far fewer cases.
Okay, so you heard that from the president. White House press